The Trump administration is expanding its response into alleged fraud by childcare providers, with the Small Business Administration announcing the suspension of nearly 7,000 Minnesota borrowers. On Tuesday, the government froze childcare payments to the state. But it isn't just Minnesota. The administration now says it will implement new requirements for childcare payments nationwide. The move provoked by a viral video alleging fraud at childcare facilities across Minnesota, which has many daycare providers and families rattled, wondering what the cuts mean moving forward now. Maria Steffel, executive director of the Neighborhood Development Alliance in St. Paul, Minnesota, whose organization partners with a nearby daycare, spoke about the impact of the freeze on funding.
Well, Antonia, this bombshell announcement from the head of the SBA, Kelly Loeffler, is just the next installment of the Trump administration's federal funding crackdown on the state of Minnesota. In a post on X overnight, Loeffler wrote that her agency is suspending 6,900 Minnesota borrowers amid suspected fraudulent activity. Loeffler says those borrowers were enrolled in the Payment Protection Program and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, which the state has been relying on heavily since the COVID-19 pandemic. And in total, Loeffler says that those now suspended borrowers were approved for about 7,900 loans worth about $400 million in total. She also said that these borrowers will be banned from future SBA loans, including disaster loans. And Antonia, it's important to note that Loeffler didn't substantiate or provide evidence for these specific claims, at least not yet. She hasn't given us the receipts. And this comes after the Department of Health and Human Services announced the freezing of about $185 million in federal funding that subsidizes childcare centers across the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, it's really important to understand that the headlines are very focused right now on Minnesota, but really all parents need to be paying attention to these headlines because, as was mentioned, we know potentially there are some bad actors, and there's a government fraud a lot. That's how I had a full-time job doing that at one point. But what we need to focus on is there is a lot of change being implemented in a very short amount of time, and normally when we're making these changes, we do that in lockstep with states. We give them notice, we help them put the tools in place that they need. We all are anti-fraud at our core. We don't want people taking advantage of government funds. And here we have kids, and parents are desperately in need of childcare assistance. So we want to make sure every single dollar is made available for the children to be able to get childcare.
Welcome back, guys. When I first heard about this news, I had to stop and really think about it. The Trump administration says it wants to bring new rules for child care payments in all 50 states. This decision comes after fraud claims in Minnesota. On paper, this sounds like a strong move to protect taxpayer money. No one supports fraud. No one wants public money to be stolen. But when you look deeper, this situation feels much more complex and much more serious than just stopping fraud. According to reports, officials say there was large-scale fraud in Minnesota linked to child care programs. Because of this, the government decided to take action across the whole country. This is a big step. Usually, problems in one state stay in that state. But this time, no state's issue is being used to change the rules everywhere. That alone raises an important question. Is this the right way to fix the problem, or does it create new problems? One of the biggest actions taken by the Small Business Administration. The SBA suspected almost 7,000 borrowers in Minnesota. These borrowers were part of programs like a Paycheck Protection Program and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. The total amount involved is about $400 million. Officials say this was done because of suspected fraud. That is a very large number, and it sounds serious, but suspected fraud does not always mean proven fraud. At the same time, the Department of Health and Human Services frozen about $155 million in federal child care funding for Minnesota. This money supports childcare centers. Because of this freeze, around 19,000 children are affected. These are not numbers on paper. These are real kids. These are parents who rely on childcare so they can work. These are workers in childcare centers who maybe lose hours or jobs. Critics of this decision are using strong words. Some are calling it collective punishment. What they mean is that instead of targeting only the people charged with fraud, the government actions are hurting everyone. Many say the Somali community in Minnesota is being hit the hardest. They feel like an entire group is being treated as suspicious, even though most people did nothing wrong. This is where the fear comes in. People in the community say they are scared. They are afraid to go about their normal lives. They worry about losing sport. They worry about being watched. They worry that one accusation can destroy everything that they worked for. When fear spreads like this, it does real damage. It breaks trust between people and the government. A former government fraud prosecutor, January Contrasters, also spoke about this. She is now the executive director of the Children's Action Alliance. She said something very important. She said, fighting fraud matters. That is true, but she also said the way this is being done is risky. These changes were sudden. There was no warning. There was little corruption with states. And that can harm a system that is already very fragile. Childcare in America is not strong right now. Many centers are already struggling, workers are underpaid, parents are paying more than ever. When funding is suddenly frozen, even for a short time, some centers may never recover. Once a center closes, it does not easily reopen. Families lose options, workers lose jobs, communities lose support. Normally, when the federal government wants to change something like this, it works closely with states. It gives notice, it offers tools, it helps states adjust. That does not really happen here. Instead, everything moved fast, too fast for many people to keep up. That is why critics say this approach causes chaos instead of fixing the real problem. There is also a bigger issue here. When the government reacts this way, it sends a message. The message may be that if fraud happens anywhere, everyone will pay the price. That kind of message can scare honest people away from programs that are meant to help them. People may stop applying for sport even if they qualify, just because they are afraid. At the same time, supporters of these actions argue that tough steps are needed. They say fraud steals money from people who truly need help. They say strong action will stop future abuse. They believe nationwide rules will close loopholes and bring fairness. This side believes short term pain is worth long term safety. But the question remains, can you fight fraud without hurting innocent people? Can you protect money without breaking trust? Can you fix one state's problem without damaging childcare across the country? These are not easy questions, and quick questions do not always lead to smart solutions. This story is not just about politics, it is about families, kids, and communities. It is about how power is used. It is about whether the government listens before it acts. Fraud should be punished, no doubt about that, but punishment should be clear, fair, and focused on the people who actually did wrong. As this policy moves forward, many people will be watching closely. Courts may get involved, state may push back, communities will speak out, and the impact on childcare will become clearer over time. What happens next will tell us a lot about how America balances enforcement with fairness. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more important stories. And I will see you in the next video.